So today we're out of my Boom Vader BD125-10, my Gen 2 Honda Grom Clone, putting the final touches on the tune for the ZS212 4-valve. And I know the last couple videos it's been like, oh man, you're close, you're close. It's like, yeah, get on with it. I know, I am itching to get this done as well, ladies and gentlemen, because I got a Nibby PE28 down here. We started with a 115 main, we went to a 118 main, and now we're at a 120 main. However, I've done something different since then. I ended up swapping that muffler out. Well, not that one, swapping to that one, because the 212s and the 190s, a lot of people recommend using the CT70 low mount exhaust. That's what I got going on here. Now, one thing I don't like about the CT70 exhaust is that it does hang down so low. Either that or I installed it incorrectly, which I don't really think that's even freaking possible. And some of you are thinking, hey man, why didn't you just use your the exhaust you had on the 125 because you had an aftermarket on that? Well, on the 190s and the 212s, the starter is located on the bottom of the engine. On the 125s, they're located on the top. So you don't have enough bend in the 125 exhaust. Now the CT70, this came as a full kit. So it was the header, the whole freaking mid-pipe, and it had a big old freaking stainless shiny muffler on there. And I took the little silencer out of the back, but at the base of the muffler, just pretend this is the other one, because I should have did this before I swapped them out, but whatever. There's a baffle built into the base of the muffler that I'm not 100% sure is even removable. But this guy, this is the muffler I had on the 125, and this thing is straight through. So, I've been having hesitation in mid-range. That's gone. In 5th gear, it was hitting a wall at 54 miles an hour. It was hitting like 7,000 RPM and just getting stuck. I wasn't getting any more speed out of it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been my entire problem. She just hasn't been able to breathe, and not to mention with the different muffler. I think she sounds a lot better too. I hate that clunking. It's kind of like the first starts on these things. A lot of people say the starter chains will wear out. It's actually on the other side. And a lot of the manufacturers say you should kickstart this thing when you're starting it up for the first time. Well, on these Grom clones, you kind of can't even really use the kickstart. A lot of guys cut these off. I just kind of bent the little tab right there, but she is definitely louder than she was. We're gonna take this back on one of my little favorite loops because we just stopped to kind of fill up a little bit. Put 4 bucks in under a gallon, and she is back to full. But you guys aren't here to listen to me talk about, well, I put gas in my Grom clone today. Nah. You guys are here for the you guys are here for that. So let's roll, baby. Oh yeah, that's way better than it was before, baby. Oh yeah. I do believe that has been what I have been missing this whole time because, oh baby. Because if you had asked me a week or two if I thought the 212 or 190 swap was worth it, I'd have told you no, man, just stick with your 125, don't spend the money. Because you're gonna get similar speed out of it, man. At least that was my experience, or the increase wasn't enough to justify it. He's on a little beamer. Doesn't want to freaking throw the 2 fingers down for your boy on the Grom clone, but that's okay, man. Everybody thinks this is a scooter anyway. When I put the engine in, when I put the exhaust on, I should have just used this muffler to begin with, but I kind of wanted to do a little series, kind of similar like I did with the 125 engine, which was basically make a change, document it, make a change, document it. So you can kind of see like the natural progression. But I also understand that I've just been basically making things more difficult on myself from the tuning aspect. Because like I said, I went from a 115 main to a 118 main. There's a 120 in here now. Which now that this engine's actually breathing properly, I'm gonna have to pull the plug when we get back. Maybe not immediately when we get back and let the engine cool down a bit. But I can throw that footage in right here. And yeah, that's what it ended up at. I don't know, and I don't know what the results are yet, so you guys tell me in the comment section if it's lean or if it's rich. Because we're going for that nice toasty marshmallow, which is kind of misleading, because a lot of times I go to toast a marshmallow, they end up getting a little too hot, it ends up turning into a torch, and those things just get charcoaled, pretty much. So as much as I hate to say it, we're not done tuning yet. And maybe she is still burbling a little in the middle, so I might have to adjust the needle a little bit. Because it's still in whatever the heck position Nibby left it in. Hopefully it's in the middle somewhere. So now that we pretty much got the same mods on this thing that we have comparatively to the 125 engine, the 125 I ended up with it was a 17-tooth front sprocket. This is calibrated, by the way, from that little SDRDR, whatever the heck thing it is, SD, whatever, the thing from 12 O'Clock Labs. So that's GPS confirmed and calibrated. But the 125 had a PE22, an Nibby PE22. I just left whatever jets were in it because it ran good enough. I didn't like deep dive into the freaking tuning on that thing. It had a free-flowing stainless header and mid-pipe, which this one kind of has. The muffler's the same. But as far as power goes, this is far and beyond the freaking 125. Because I think those things, technically, paperwork says it's like 6 to 8 horsepower, somewhere in there. Allegedly, this 212 4-valve is sitting somewhere around 23-ish. We'll have to do a comparison. But holy crap. This is what it was supposed to be the whole time. But because I'm trying to baby step stuff, screw that, man, because it's... Summer has started, okay? It's going to be like 90-some Fahrenheit today. It's already almost 80, and it's not even 9 a.m. I gotta take it easy though, because all I'm wearing is like basic jeans, a freaking little button-up collared shirt. I got a mesh shirt on though that's got a back protector in it, but that's pretty much it for safety gear. Mine is the helmet, and I got some riding boots on. I'm thinking if we're gonna do like a top speed on this thing, we might want to gear up a little bit, and not necessarily just well, it's those little 12-inch tires, man. Those little, I don't know. So we've hit 62 on this thing so far. I'm not sure how much faster I'd want to go on these little wheels, man. Plus these tires are still Chinese. So I definitely want to swap them out for something probably a little stickier, a little better. I've been taking a peek at the Shinkos. I think they're 743s. I can't remember exactly. Or there's some Michelins that are supposed to be pretty good. A lot of guys go Kendas. I'm not looking for like an off-road mixed tire. I'm just basically looking for street. If you guys have any recommendations, please let me know down below what you use and what you like. Because right now I'm kind of leaning towards the Shinkos. I got Shinkos on my Honda Chopper, and I'm pretty happy with them. I think it's a good compromise for the price point. Because I'm not looking to like get super low in these corners. I also need to get used to this downshifting on this thing. We're not really downshifting, what do you call it? Rev matching, freaking doing the decel thingy, you know what I mean? That is way too much fun. Way too much fun. And I'm really hoping this plug looks good when we get to the house, because that means I can finally finish the mods on this thing. We are not done with this little bike yet. I don't like the Gen 2 headlight. And one, I think it looks goofy, and I want to go with something rounder, which I already got. I got a third motor mount I meant to put on the 125, but never did. It should work for the 212. I'm pretty sure, anyway. There's still a tail tidy. I want to do something for storage on the back. I got a little box. I got the mounting plate. I got stuff to do to this bike. It's just I bought the 212 over Christmas, and then it took me about 4 months to get it in. I've been tuning it off and on. The reason it's taken so long is, you know, just freaking work schedule, weather on the weekends. Last weekend, at the time of this recording, I did the subscriber ride, so I was on the Honda Chopper. Weekend before that, it rained. Weather was not on our side. The weekend before that, I took the big bike, the Kawasaki Mean Streak, took that to the beach to meet some folks. That was a good time. So it's kind of been slow going, but you know what? Now that muffler's good, this should go a lot faster and a lot smoother, especially if it's done. I'm hoping that 120 main jet does the trick, because we were pretty lean beforehand. Also, I was getting a lot of noise from the intake, and I noticed I'm not getting that as much anymore, because it's actually able to get that air out of the freaking cylinder. Because pretty much, internal combustion engine, basically what it is, I mean, this thing's basically an air pump. Or all internal combustion engines are basically air pumps. It sucks air in, shoots fuel in there, it goes bang, and then shoots it out the back. And a byproduct of that is horsepower and noise. But yeah, apparently I've been making things difficult on myself the whole time. Because even fifth gear, from 30 miles an hour. I mean, she's keeping up with traffic. She ain't got no issues with this, baby. Oh, man. This means I can take my usual main road work or main road to work without worrying about getting ran over. I just got to worry about people seeing me. Ugh, I keep sliding forward on this thing. Definitely still want to lower the rear because I am about 6 foot tall, so I'm sitting kind of like in the middle. I got an aftermarket seat, but I'm sitting like where the hump would be for the main rider and the passenger on the stock seat. So I'm sitting at like a slightly forward angle. I want to drop the rear 2 inches to kind of flatten that out. I got risers on the stock bars to bring them up about another inch, inch and a half. I'll probably just end up with some pro tapers. That seems to be what everybody likes to go with. Something a little wider, give me a little more control. Also, I threw a 16-tooth sprocket on this thing because it came with a 420 pitch sprocket, and the rear sprocket on the Vader is a 428. My chain's a 428. I don't think it's as strong as a 420. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm really tempted to get away from this 16 front and maybe go with a 17 front just to kind of stretch these out a little bit because she's pulling fine, but also it does kind of seem like I'm getting through the first and second gear. Maybe. I don't know. I was going to say I kind of want to stretch those out a little bit, but it's not. It's probably fine. I might just need to get used to it. And this isn't the main road I was talking about, but this one definitely gets a little busy. We'll take our green arrow. We're going to do a little merging. Up to speed. And we have achieved speed limit. Look at that. No problem keeping up, no problem cruising. I'm digging this muffler anyway, just for the throatier sound. That's what she should have sounded like this whole time. Oh no, traffic's coming. I better go ahead and pull out. I hope I get up to speed in time. I need to be careful with this thing because we've got a whole... What is that? We've done about 110 miles on this engine so far. And the last thing I want to do is blow it up. But you guys will know because there'll be a video. I blew up my little bike. Frowny face. Frowny face. But I definitely dig this thing now. Holy crap. I was on the fence before. I was like, man, I don't even know if I like this thing. And I did the swap and I was like, man, I didn't get the results I expected. Turns out it was my fault the whole time. And I guess the next question is, do I recommend doing this swap? Well, if you have this bike already, and you want to get more use out of it. And of course, I went with the 212 4-valve head because I wanted the most performance I could get. And I was only going to do this once. I didn't want to do this a whole bunch of times. I would say definitely go for it. I think it's worth the money. Because if you had the Grom Clone with a 125cc engine and you wanted more out of it and you needed something bigger for practical usage, definitely I would not recommend selling the 125, thinking you're going to get a bunch of money back out of it, because honestly, the resale value kind of sucks. And if you shop around, you can get the engines for under $1,000. You can get a 192 valve for a lot cheaper than that, and it's still going to be way better than a 125. But if you were to ask me, hey, should I buy a clone? Should I buy the engine to do the swap to get a bike that goes this fast? You're way better off getting like a 300 Ninja, 300 Rebel, the old 250 Rebel. I think you're going to get a lot more for your money, and I think you're going to get a lot more usability for your money. But if you already have one of these, then my goodness, man, I say go for it, because honestly, the swap isn't too bad. I kind of spread it out over 3 days so I could do it in little chunks. Like I pulled the engine out the first day, prepped and installed the engine the second day, hooked everything up, test fired, all that good stuff the next day. And honestly, it went smooth. I could probably knock it out in a couple hours if I needed to again. But if you're curious about the swap and want to do it yourself, see what it takes, you can check that video out right here. And as always, y'all be good. See ya!